This isn't a motivational video. No success stories. No 5-step plans. No background music that swells as you're told to hustle harder. This is something else. This is for you if you're tired. Not just physically, but in that deeper, quieter way that creeps in when every day starts to feel like a race you never signed up for. Maybe you're not trying to win anymore. Maybe you're just trying to stop running, and that's okay. Today, let's talk about what it means to not chase goals, to live without a vision board or morning routine,
To be unproductive and not feel guilty about it.
because maybe the real problem isn't your lack of motivation. Maybe it's the world constantly demanding that you be more than you already are. Everywhere you turn, someone's shouting, "Be your best self, level up, break your limits." But no one tells you what to do when your soul says, no. No one teaches you how to sit still without labeling it failure. The truth is, we live in a culture addicted to improvement, a culture that treats rest like a weakness, a culture that believes if you're not growing, you're dying. But what if that's not true? What if the constant push to be better isn't noble, but exhausting? What if the real violence isn't laziness, but the quiet war you wage against yourself, day after day, in the name of becoming someone else? There's something radical in stepping away from that fight, something quietly powerful in choosing not to improve, not forever, just for now. Because sometimes what you call apathy is just your mind begging for a pause, not a collapse, not a failure, a pause. Think of it like a winter. Nothing blooms, nothing grows. But beneath the surface, something still breathes. The roots are alive. They're just resting, waiting. When you don't want anything, not success, not movement, not change, that doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human. It means maybe, for once, you're not chasing someone else's definition of meaning. Maybe you're finally listening to yourself. And that silence you're feeling, that stillness, it's not emptiness. It's space. Space where guilt used to live. Space where pressure used to breathe down your neck. Space where your own voice can finally be heard again. Try this if you can. Do nothing. Not out of despair, but with presence. No purpose. No plan. Just let the stillness be. Sit by a window. Watch the light shift. Let time pass without measuring it. It won't feel natural at first. Your brain will resist. It's been trained to value movement, metrics, results. It will whisper, "You're wasting time." But what if time isn't something to use? What if it's something to feel? Something to share with yourself, without needing to earn it? When you stop doing, something strange begins to happen. First, discomfort. Then the kind of unraveling. And eventually, maybe, something soft. Curiosity. Not the urgent kind that demands action, but the quiet kind. Like when you notice a bird singing or wonder what it would feel like to take a nap at noon. That's not motivation. That's returning. Returning to your own rhythm, your own questions, your own sense of timing. And that return? It's only possible when you stop outsourcing your worth to achievements. When you stop asking coaches, books, courses, "What should I do now?" And instead ask, "What do I feel right now?" There's a gentler way to live. It doesn't mean you'll never strive again. It doesn't mean giving up on growth. It just means learning to pause before pushing forward. It means replacing resistance with rest. It means letting stillness be not the opposite of life, but a part of it. So how do you practice this? How do you live without trying to fix or change yourself? You start with a stop. Not a crash. Not a breakdown. A simple, conscious pause. You let the silence stretch a little longer than feels comfortable. You resist the urge to fill it with tasks, or scrolling, or improvement. You let yourself feel bored, tired, blank. And then you listen. Not for answers, but for the absence of them. Because sometimes the most honest parts of you only speak when everything else quiets down. Create little windows of this silence. You don't need a retreat in the mountains. Just 10 minutes without purpose. A walk without a podcast. A night without productivity. Not to achieve anything, but to feel what it's like to not achieve. It's a strange kind of growth. The kind that looks like stillness from the outside. But inside, something is realigning. Something old is falling away. Something true is waking up. And maybe that's the point. Maybe real progress doesn't always look like climbing. Maybe sometimes it's just learning how to stand still without falling apart. To breathe, to exist. To say, "This is enough. I am enough." Because if you feel like you don't want anything right now, no plans, no goals, no fire, that isn't the end. It's not a failure. It's a sign. A sign that maybe, finally, you've stopped living by someone else's expectations and started listening to your own.